Hello, and welcome to a combat episode of the Deeper Bones demo. We are using the beta rules, the beta 1.3, and my name is Petri Leinonen. I will be your guide this evening. I can be found on Twitter at Alvan, and my pronouns are he, him.
Hi, I'm Eevi Korhonen, and tonight I will be playing my newly created character, Ori, who's a stonemason looking for a cause. And hopefully, maybe they'll survive this combat, maybe they don't, we'll see. And if you're interested in kind of like following me later, you can find me on Twitter with the nickname Silliet, so that's Silliet. And my pronouns are she and her.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rami. You can find me at Twitter at the_Laaksonen. That is the_Laaksonen. However, today I shall be playing Guiti. Guiti is a squire. The squire who was left behind. With his crystalline claws and his, a shield as the practical item, he shall be traveling the world and seeing the enjoyments of combat, along with his friend, Ori. Are you ready, Ori?
I am.
I was born ready. Let's go.
You know what time it is for Ori? Hammer time.
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's get fighting. Okay, so you are running down the corridor. There are torches about 20 meters apart in these stands on the wall. It's nice and lit. The corridor continues forward, arching slightly to the left, and there is a side corridor to the right. There's light coming from both of those. I think Ori is the one in the front, so which way you're going?
I trust my gut, and it says that side corridors lead to interesting places.
Okay, well, it does, and it's maybe a meter and a half wide, a rough, maybe 2 meters tall side corridor in this larger cavern, and you duck in, Guiti, you see Ori disappearing to a side darkness in front of you, and like, I assume you follow?
Well, the assumption is correct. I absolutely follow into the darkness. I mean, I recall that Ori is also a bit of the dark themselves, so yeah.
Yeah. And it's a few steps in this very narrow corridor, and then the scene opens to it's a cavern, but the back wall of the cavern is made out of these almost golden stones, like very yellow. It's clearly built, not natural in any way. There is a double door there that has like slightly greenish hue to it. It's a metal door. There are these carvings of faces and astrological symbols on it. And you realize that you're not alone in this cavern, and there are a few more kobolds that that have been plaguing you on this expedition. There are a few more of them in this room. So the back wall, it's maybe something like 30 meters in front of you. That's made out of stonework. There is a small bit of land in front of it. And then there is maybe 1.5 meter wide chasm that just drops down. And you don't know how deep it is. You're on the other side of the room, so hard to say. Then there is, like the rest of the room, it's something like 20 meters wide, 10 meters tall, and natural rock. There are a few lanterns and torches here to light up the place. To your left, there is this big pile of rock, like someone's been doing excavation here, and it's maybe 2 meters tall, 2 meters wide. On top of that sits one of the kobolds. They see you. It's like you're very clear when you rush in here, so that's a no-brainer for them. There is one near the doors on the other side of the room, and there are two quite near the chasm, but on this side. So there's one near you, one on the very back end of the room, and two near the chasm, but on this side. And there's one that's following you very, very angrily behind you. These kobolds, as you might recall, are something of maybe 1 meter, a bit taller, lizard-like creatures that are made out of solid liquid. So you can sort of see through them, and they look wet, but they are very solid. They pack a punch when they hit. They're tiny. They have sharp teeth. They can use tools. They're annoyingly smart. There's 5 of them, and there's 2 of you. Let's go to tactical. So how combat works is we first declare our intentions, what we want to do this turn. We can be as specific or as generic as we want in our description. I'll start by telling what I do. The one on top of the pile is jumping down, dagger in hand, and screaming, and probably trying to hit. I think Ori came in first, so them. And the 2 on the next to the chasm, they take out these. Well, there's rocks there. They pick up rocks and start throwing at you, and whoever happens to be there, they'll hit. They don't care about the target. They're just attacking you guys. The one behind you is so far behind that they'll spend this round just running here, so they're not doing anything useful this round. And the one at the door is casting Magic Missile, a spell. So, what do you want to do this turn?
So as the expert, I get to go first.
You'll get to go first no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them will have to roll.
and that means I get to act before the kobold that is about to jump me.
Yes.
For instance, yeah.
All
Nice.
right. And because it's standing on this delicious rubble pile, and I am a stonemason, I was thinking of kind of like using that to my advantage, and kind of like just like attacking its legs or the kind of like rubble pile to make it shift so it trips.
Ooh, wonderful. Okay, so that's your intention, and you will be doing it first, but let's go through the intentions first. Guiti.
Right, Guiti shall be advancing, holding shield 4 in front of him, and advancing towards the 2 gentle kobolds who are throwing those rocks there, and taking and trying to catch their attention, which is, pretty much granted, and shielding and being the target instead of Ori. So taking those hits on his shield. That's the intention. And if there's something else, or does it consume my whole action?
They are that much further from you.
Yeah.
It's like 30 meters the whole room, so it'll take you the whole action to get to them.
Fair enough. In that case, I shall be also doing some shouting and tactics discussion with Ori during my round. Yes.
Wonderful. Let's go to initiative, and that is Ori doesn't have to do it. You'll act first, but let's get one from Guiti.
Yes.
So that's a reflex.
Yes. Reflex, which is a straight D20 roll for me, and that's 12. 1, 2, 12.
Okay, so 12 for you.
Yes.
The kobolds are really fast, so they're rolling D20 plus D4. Okay, so that's a 10 and a 1, so that's 11. 8 and a 3, so that's an 11 as well.
All those 11s. I know it.
You know how this goes. Okay, that's a 6 and a 2, so that's an 8. These, like I've been going through the order in the same order, so it's the one on top, then the 2. Now it's the next one is the magic user, and that's 20 plus 2, so that's 22.
Ouch.
And
But
the one
you are
behind you,
faster.
it doesn't really matter, but it's 4 plus 1. So that's a 5. So first one is Ori, and this counts as an expert maneuver. You're doing a combat maneuver and trying to hurt them at the same time. So give me a physique roll. It's an attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
And because you are using your stonemasonry, I will give you an advantage to this. So roll 2d20 and keep the higher of those.
Plus D4 because my physique is still fairly good.
Yeah.
It is very good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so my better one is 13 and plus 2, so 15.
15 hits, and they get to save from falling down. And the target number for that, when I was earlier saying that saving throws are always target number 20, that doesn't count in combat because that would get lethal really fast. So in combat, when defending against a combat maneuver, it's the result of the roll, except when dealing with experts who are doing that damage and thing. Then it's just the result of the d20 of the roll, so it's 13.
Yeah.
So let's see. And it's I would say this is a physique. This isn't about quickness. This is about like staying on your feet and it's a 4, so they will be falling down, crashing down. You get to roll damage.
Okay.
And that is because you are using your hammer. I'll let you use that as the damage. So how damage works, and this is one of the fun parts of the game. Every time you roll damage, the person or creature or whatever you're targeting rolls their hit die, and you compare your damage roll to their hit roll, and if you beat them, then they lose a hit die. So and there is like each die is compared separately, but in this case they are very small. They only have a d4 hit die, so it's but you get to roll a d6 for damage, and I get to roll a d4 for their hit die.
I got a 4.
Yeah, no matter what they got, you get equal or more. So that means you managed to get a hit die worth of damage to them, and they lose a hit die, which takes them to 0. That means, What does this look like?
Well, Ori immediately having the beautiful stonework is very enticing. But as soon as kind of like noticing that we're not alone, Ori's sharp eyes just scan the room, immediately notice the nearest threat, and kind of like shouting to Guiti like, "I'll handle these. You go to the front." And then kind of like whipping out the hammer from my belt, I just kind of like strategically notice that kind of like excavation rubble is very easily, like it slides so easily. So I just kind of like find that wonderful point where kind of like, if I just kind of like take out this kind of like supporting rock, the whole kind of like thing will collapse and they'll just kind of like surf or very lethally surf down. So I kind of like hit my hammer to remove that supporting rock, and they just come tumbling down. All these rocks just kind of like slide over them, and they're clearly not moving afterwards.
Yeah. So that's 1 kobold down, 4 to go. Next one is the one with the 22 initiative. And they are casting magic missile. I'll make my rolls here. The kobold on the far end of the room says a few words, and makes arcane gestures. Two balls of light start circling around their head. There is a slight watery quality to them, and well, you know this is magic. You know this is bad. That's magic missile. Then it's Guiti's turn.
Right. I do as Ori suggests, commands, or says, and we'll be doing the thing which I already declared, so I can really back down, can I? So I'm advancing at the two throwing persons there. Could I use my defensive stance here somehow? Or
Yes.
How does it work?
Yes. So the fighter has those special abilities, and basically you always get to use one, even if you don't. So if you're just moving, you can get the plus to your armor class.
Which is great. I shall be doing that, and also informing Ori that it seems that your chase me to your leader tactics worked. Ori, it worked. And then I continue onwards.
Ori just shouts back like, I know.
Yes, then there's the two ones, the two that are, well, the next one would be the one that just died, but the ones after that are the ones throwing rocks at Guiti. So they don't get bonuses, but they don't get any penalties either to their attacks. It's straight up attack rolls. First of all, you were using a defensive stance. Let's roll that first. So it's a d4.
Okay, cool. That would be a 4.
Nice. So that takes your armor class to 14.
This is
and
true.
Then you have a shield, which means which one of the two would you like to defend against? The first or the second?
Well, the one who's on my left, that's the heart's side, you know?
Okay, so that would be the first one.
Yeah.
So for the first one, your armor class is 16. For the second one, it is 10.
Yes.
So let's roll. 19 from the first one.
Oh dear me. Oh dear me.
Let's do the damage roll. So as a fighter, you have a hit dice of d10. You roll that. I'll roll the damage from the improvised weapon of the kobold, which is the d4.
I got a 5.
Well, it will not hurt you that bad. It hits you and it hurts. It rolled a 2, but its 2 can't beat your 5. So that just hits you. And if you get hit but not damaged, the dice gets banked. So now the next time you take damage, I roll an additional d4 for the damage, and the chances increase that you will eventually lose that hit die of yours.
Hey, that's nice.
So
there's still one hit die to go. I'm not down yet.
Yeah, you still have that one hit die of yours.
But there's a second kobold, is there not?
Yes, and
Right.
It's an 18. So
What, did they go to some rock throwing school?
apparently
Straight from the Olympics coming here, you know, and yeah.
So I'll roll the damage first. The is the normal damage of the rock, which is a d4. It's a 3.
Do I
And
roll
then
my
the
die
bank-
now?
And then the bank die, which stays on you until, is a 4. So now if you get 4 or less on your hit die roll, you'll go down.
Yeah, hey, well, it was nice knowing you, Ori. I get a 0, so that would be a 10, right?
Yeah, that's a 10. So
Yeah.
you're still standing. But now you have 2 d4s banked on you. So next time you will be rolling any damage you get, there's 2 additional die.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So next initiative. And now this time Ori won't go first. You'll have to roll initiative as the rest of us. But declarations first. The 2 kobolds that are now in melee range of Guiti draw their daggers and charge, screaming probably profanities in a language that only the lizards understand. The magic user fires one of the magic missiles, and it's going to target Ori. So, in like in clear terms, if it has a line of sight to you, this magic missile will hit you. There is no roll. And the one coming from behind you also runs into the room, and as Ori is the closest one, they will charge and try to stab Ori. So, what do you do?
Well, Ori is smart, so they know that the kind of like magic missiles are eventually coming. So I was wondering if that doorway is kind of like dark enough that if I duck into it and kind of like, also welcome the oncoming kobold with my hammer to the face is kind of like enough to take me out of the line of sight of that kobold.
I'd say, yeah. Yeah, I think that would be, it's not a straight line, so you could get away from the line of sight if you get there before they act.
Yeah.
And then bash the kobold that's coming out with hammer.
Yes.
Guiti.
All right, so I have two targets in front of me who are very adept at throwing things at me, and now they are armed with what? The daggers or just
daggers?
Daggers, yes, that's those tiny daggers which makes so good work of me. So that is, I will be attacking both of them through my multi-target. Was it not? It's called cleave ability, aiming at their midsection because the easiest area is there.
Sounds very rational and reasonable. Okay.
Can I amend my intention a little bit, since this is the kobold that I have already seen, so I know what kind of weapon they have.
Yes,
I've seen them.
It's a very, very short spear.
Okay, so I was thinking kind of like, instead of just like bashing them normally, like I'm going to try to bash the spear out of their hand with my hammer.
Okay, so I assume as an expert, damage and this. So, okay, good.
Nice.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's start with initiative rolls. I'll hear from you first and then do mine.
So reflexes, straight on.
Yeah, reflex roll. Yeah.
All right, so I'm good. I'm pretty good. 16.
Right, nice.
Nice.
Guiti is number 6.
Okay, you keep those in mind. I'll do some rolling. Okay, so that's I'll do the ones attacking Guiti first, then the magic user, then the one coming out or in the room. So the first one attacking Guiti is 16. The second one attacking Guiti is 4 plus 4 is 8.
Well,
the magic user is an 8 plus 1, that's 9. And the one coming in, 20 plus 1, so 21. So they will be acting first. So first the one who is attacking Ori, then then the ones, one of the ones attacking Guiti, then the magic user, then the last one attacking Guiti, and then Guiti.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. Do I even get a chance? I do. Thanks.
Okay, so the one with the short spear charges in, and as Ori is charging out, and that
we meet in the middle.
Yes.
That is 10. Does it hit?
So I was comparing it to my AC, which is 11.
Yeah. They come and you barely dodge the spear. They're stabbing at you. Well, it's more of a sharp stick than a spear, but still, you get the idea. Then it's Ori.
So I will no longer kind of like, I assume they came out into the room, so I probably won't be dodging into the hallway anymore, but I will still
Probably not
attempt to.
if you drop them, I'll let you go in because that's your intention. But if
Sure.
you don't get them, we'll roll if you can get past them.
All right. So I will hit their spear with my hammer, or maybe kind of like their hand. See
Yeah.
if I can kind of like get them hard
So
enough.
that's a physique roll.
Mm-hmm. And that's my D20 plus D4,
Yeah.
and that's 12 plus 2, so 14.
You're on a roll. That's a hit. And what did you say? 12.
12,
is
yep.
Yeah, I'll roll the saving throw for them if they can keep hold of their spear. If the target number is 12, that's a 13. So they managed to keep hold of their spear even through all this. It probably hurts like heck. But then damage.
So D6
So
for the hammer.
D6. Yeah, and I'll roll the D4 for their hit die.
It's another 4.
Well, they rolled the maximum of 4, so it doesn't help them. They're dead.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it was good. Yay!
Yeah. So you managed to bash them. They still hold on to the spear, but
They'll get to hold
Consolation.
on to it in Cobalt Valhalla.
Oh,
yes. And
well done,
and
Ori,
you
well done.
duck into the dark corridor.
Where my shadow grows a little bit larger, a little bit more
Yeah.
defined.
Day by day, encounter by encounter.
Okay, so next it is the first one attacking Guiti with a dagger.
The first one has. Should I roll my? No, I didn't say that.
You're not.
I was
you're
using the
using-
cleave instead of the.
Yeah, you're-
Yes.
Yeah. So which one are you using your shield against?
Thank you for asking. The left one.
So again, the first one.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one, it's now it's AC 12 for
Yeah.
you.
Correct.
That's a 3. So
That's
not
a 3.
a hit.
Well, in this case, yes.
They
I
didn't go
managed.
to the dagger fighting school.
They did
Yep.
not. They did not.
They're
Or-
more of the rock fighting style. Then it's the magic user's turn, and they fire the magic missile, and it hits the wall as Ori disappears behind the corner.
Herb. Good legwork. Nice.
And then it's the other one, and your AC is 10.
10.
7 does not hit, and it's your turn.
Whew. Right, having how do I say? They had daggers. Having guided their dagger away with the forte of my longsword, I shall then be using the cleave action. How do I do that, guide? How do I cleave?
How do you cleave? You make a single attack roll.
Mm-hmm.
You target the one with the higher armor class. In this case, they are equal, so you are making that attack simply against them. If you hit, I will roll both of their hit die, and you compare your damage to whatever that result or results is. So if I roll 2 2s and you roll a 6, then they both are gone. If I roll a 4 and a 3 and you roll 2, then neither of them is gone, and so on. We'll compare most efficiently.
Fantastic. Let's see this in action. So, physique roll, right?
Physique roll, yeah, so that's a...
19, 15 plus 4.
Whoa, well, that connects with both of them, so make a damage roll. That's a d6 for you.
That's a
with the
d6. I shall be
longsword.
rolling a d6. Roll a d6, and that's a 3.
No. The first one rolled a 1, so you at least will be getting one of them.
Oh, nice.
And the second one is also rolling a 1, so you
Really?
get your 3 manages to drop both of those. So
Okay.
you hit both of them, you cleave both of them. What does it
Yes.
look like?
It looks like, I do have a longsword and a shield, right? Yes. Firstly, I maneuver myself in such a position that the chasm is there in front of me at the moment, and then there are, 2 kobolds between me and the chasm. And then I push.
Mhm.
with the shield. Then I make some maneuvers with my longsword and forcing the engaged opponent to retreat. They do one step too much, and they both go down with the stock sounds of screaming going there. Oh, yeah, and what you know, what not. And so
Yes.
they're out of the action.
The Willem scream.
Yes, that's the one.
Wonderful. And that's everything for this round of combat. The next initiative starts, and I will be making a bit of bookkeeping here because the situation is quite dire for the one remaining kobold. I will be rolling for its morale, and its action this round will be dissipating the magic missile it has cast and raising its arms in a very non-threatening gesture and trying to vocalize that it is not dangerous anymore. It doesn't speak your language, but it is very well it has very expressive way of communicating its fear to you. Do you want to continue the combat, or shall we move back into the delve?
What do you think, Ori? Shall we?
I think we'll graciously accept.
Yes, unconditional surrender at that, but absolutely. Yes.
Wonderful.
The fight is over. I salute the remaining kobold for its common sense.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.